Hey yo, what is good, everybody? It's Malcolm McFadden, the creator of 615 Comics, and you're watching the Yo and Nerd podcast, and this is episode 39. So, you already know. Before we get started with all this comic book talk, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It helps the channel grow. And also tell your friends about me. Tell your friends about Yo and Nerd. Tell them that we over here talking about comic book stuff all day, every day. All right, so I got another great episode for y'all. Last episode was really dedicated to Black indie comics and talking about that. But this episode, we're back to how we normally do things. I got a bunch of topics in the comic book realm to talk about. A lot of things have been going on. A lot of things been seen. Trailers been out. Comics been announced. You feel me? A lot of stuff that needs to be talked about. So let's just get straight into this. All right. My first topic of the day, I'm gonna be talking about the Superman set photos. So Superman Man of Tomorrow is being filmed literally right now. Actually, Batman also being filmed. Batman 2 is also being filmed right now. We got some set photos from Batman 2, but it's not really too much to talk about. But with the Superman set photos, we actually get a picture of the new Superman suit where it's a little bit more darker. It seems like it's a little bit more different. It's not as bright as the first one, which I like. I still think the suit with the underwear is trash. I think the suit with the underwear on the outside is definitely trash and it still looks weird, but I think with it being darker and not as bright, it doesn't look as corny to me and as clownish. I know people like the bright colors more, but for me, it just looks kind of corny-ish and weird. So but the new set photos for the Superman came out. The new Superman suit still doesn't look great to me, but I still like the darkness to it. But what was really dope was seeing Lex in his armor, in the green armor and everything. Now I seen people online, because online is a crazy place, where they were just trashing this. People saying yo looks like Buzz Lightyear. Which it kind of does. I'm not gonna lie to you. When they changed the colors, it made a Buzz Lightyear look dope. But it's very comic book accurate. It's very comic book accurate to the story. For me, I kind of wish they would have made the suit a little bit more lean and not as big and bulky, but that's how the comic book was, and that's what they were keeping with, which I like that. I like that they were going real comic book accurate with it. We'll see what it looks like in the movie. Because sometimes comic book stuff doesn't really translate to live action as good all the time. Like I think the Wolverine suit and the Deadpool joint is kind of evidence of that, where like the white eyes don't look as good. You feel me? And even sometimes when they put white eyes on Batman in like fan edits, those don't look as good. But I love that Lex is coming out with the combo accurate suit, and I may be a little bit hyped for Man Tomorrow. I wasn't really too hyped when this first Superman came out. I was new hyped to see how this new universe and everything started, but I wasn't really too hyped. Like I said before, I'm not a huge James Gunn fan, you feel me? Especially now with him taking on characters like Superman. But we'll see what happens in this Man Tomorrow. We already know Brainiac's going to be in that joint. We already know Superman and Lex will be teaming up in that joint, kind of a team up type of film. So we'll see what comes out of that. And see what happens with that. But talking about the Superman set photos, I also saw something online. It was basically talking about what if the newest Superman movie by James Gunn was released back when Man of Steel came out, right? And also, this one is for people literally just to keep talking about Zack Snyder. I don't get it. As a Zack Snyder fan, like I feel like people that hate Zack Snyder stuff talk about him more than his actual fans do. But hey, Zack Snyder's still a point of conversation now in 2026 and still getting a lot of engagement for these people. So people put it out there. But I saw a post that was interesting. And it was like, what if Superman was released when Man of Steel was? And people, of course, were jumping like, oh, it would have did great. It would have did great. It would have really set DC up to be like Marvel. But my hot take is, I think y'all forget the time that Man of Steel came out. What was it? 2012, 2013, around that time? I think y'all forget about the era we were in. I think a lot of y'all wasn't with us shooting in the gym around that time. All right. If people say, hey, this is what people like to say. They like to say, hey, James Gunn would have back then. James Gunn would have did great with this movie. Back then, also the Marvel, the MCU, and the hype for superhero movies would have helped that movie do a lot better. They think that the critics would have liked this movie a lot better. And people just think that, that it would just did well. But I'm here to tell you, I don't think it would. I don't think it would. Like I said, I think y'all forgetting the era. I think when it would need to be released now. I think this movie needed to release in 2025. I think it was 2025, 24 when Superman was released. It needs to be released in this day and age. I'll tell you why. For one, it had everything going for it. In this day and age, it had everything going for it. I know people like to say, well, the DCEU left a bad stain in people's mouth. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. People wanted the Superman movie. Everybody was all in on the Superman movie when they stopped the other universe. Everybody had talked so much trash about it that everybody needed this one to be good. Everybody wanted to be good. People already had their opinions on this before this movie even came out. So like this movie had everything going for it with James Gunn being behind it. You feel me? And the success he had with the MCU. Like literally, this Superman movie had everything going for it, which it would not have going for back in the day. You had influencers today ready. Like I said, they already had their minds made up before the movie came out, ready to be like, okay, this is the greatest Superman movie ever when it came out, right? Let's backtrack to 2012, 2013. I think y'all forget that was the era where everybody called Superman boring, and this Superman movie that just came out would not have helped that. I'm sorry. Y'all really wanted y'all really wanted the big blue boy scout. Y'all wanted, the hopeful and all that. And I'm here to tell y'all, back in that day, that was boring. Everybody was saying that was boring. We were coming off the Superman Returns movie, and there was a lot of just talks about Superman just being a boring character, right? So that's what's going on around that time. That's why you got a movie like Man of Steel, because you had to go against, you had to be something different. You had to show Superman a different light than just this boring light that everybody was just going to be like, hey, this is boring. Also, people say the MCU, the superhero hype would help the movie. No, it wouldn't have. That didn't help Green Lantern. All right. And when Man of Steel came out, MCU fans banded together to hate on DC. I remember because I was out there fighting for my life, bro. I was out there fighting for my life against MCU fans on Twitter and Facebook. You feel me? Like they just wanted to trash the DCU, like it's never gonna be Marvel. And also when the movie came out with it not being like the MCU movies, that got trashed. They got trashed for being different. The Man Still was like, there were so many critics like, this is not the MCU. This wasn't like the MCU when DC has never been like Marvel. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, like, if this Man Still, and plus James Gunn wasn't hot back then. He wasn't hot until after, Guardians of the Galaxy and those stuff started to go around. He wasn't hot. You missing his hotness by a few years. So him taking over, him making the Superman movie, you wouldn't have had everybody like, oh my God, this is James Gunn. I thought this was a very interesting conversation because I think if this Superman movie got released back then, it would have got killed. Critics, I think fans, everybody would have killed this movie. I think if it did, it needs to be released now to get that praise. If it got released back then, bro, I think it would have seriously got killed, especially coming off the heels of that Green Lantern movie, especially in the time where everybody's like Superman is boring. Like that would have been crazy. I think that would have been absolutely bonkers. All right. But yeah, that's just my opinion on that. That's something that if you comment in the comments and let me know what y'all think about that. Do you think the James Gunn Superman would have did well if it was released when Man of Steel was released? Because I'm thinking no. I'm thinking no. I'm thinking y'all gonna trash that, call it boring. It's gonna get packed up and sent out to probably straight to DVD or something like that. And then we're not really gonna talk about it for real. That's just my opinion. I didn't totally hate the new Superman movie. I thought it was cool, but I think in that era, in the era of Superman being boring, it would have got trashed, bro. I think it would definitely got trashed. But let's move on. Let's close out that and move on to the Supergirl trailer. Supergirl trailer, oh man, is looking good. Now, the Supergirl movie is strongly based after the comic book, they say, Woman of Tomorrow. The Woman of Tomorrow Supergirl book. Now, me, myself, I have not read this book. I did not read the book. I'm not a crazy Supergirl fan, so I didn't really read the book at all. So I think I read like the first issue of it when it first came out, but I didn't read it, and I haven't read it yet because I want to watch this movie. As a comic book fan, I find it better to not read books before I go see these movies because these movies are never really like the comics, especially when you go into like this new era of, well, this is DC, but it's still kind of like MCU with the James Gunn stuff. But these new comic book movies are never really like the comics. They take a little bit of inspiration from comics, they put little things in the comics, but they're never really like the comics. I think the most real comic book like movie that actually took stuff from the comics was Batman vs Superman. I think people will be mad at that, but that movie literally took dialogue from the comics and put them in the movie, took panels from the comics and put them in the movie. So that one was the most like comic book X book to movie to me. But for the most part, most movies kind of are just take inspiration from the comics and kind of do their own thing. Kind of got to look at them as like when you get an Elseworld comic, it's kind of standalone. That's kind of what these movies are, like an Elseworld standalone comic book. You feel me? So I like to go into these movies with a fresh eye. I like to go in these movies not tainted by things that I want in the comics and things I would like to see. So I think that just makes it better. It allows me to actually enjoy the movie for what it is. So like if I go into this and I read The Woman of Tomorrow, and that book is glaringly better than the movie, then I'm gonna be mad. Now, if they say the book is glaringly better than the movie, and I haven't read the book, when I see that movie, I give it fresh eyes. I can like it. Then when I read the book, I may not like the movie so much after that, but I still had that initial reaction to the movie, like, hey, this was good. And maybe after I read the book, I'm not too mad at the movie. You feel me? But I know for a fact if I read the book and then go into the movie, and the movie not like the book, I'm gonna be mad. You feel me? I'm just gonna be mad. The same thing happened with Black Adam. Black Adam, there was a lot of things that, as I'm watching the movie, I'm like, why didn't they do this? Because it sort of made this better with the comics. This was tied in with this. And then while I'm watching the movie, that's happening, right? And I really don't really get to check it out till the second, third time because I'm not having these comic booky thoughts. You feel me? So I'm excited I say all that to say I'm excited for the Supergirl movie. I'm excited. It looks good. I'm way more excited than I was for the Superman movie. At first, I thought the Supergirl movie was just gonna be Guardians of the Galaxy reskinned with Supergirl, but and it still may be that. It still looks very Guardians of the Galaxy like in the trailer, the newest trailer. But I think the action in this looks dope. It looks better than the action from the trailer from the Superman movie. I want to see how this story goes. I want to see how Car is out there in the world, especially with Lobo. I want to see Lobo. I was actually just having a conversation with my friend where he was like, I'm not sold on Lobo. He was like, I'm not sold on Lobo. Like, yeah, he has the personality and everything. And then one of the things he was saying is the voice, is the accent. He was like, I don't know if he can pull off his accent. And what I was telling my friend was with Lobo, you haven't really seen too much of Lobo in live action or animation. You've seen a couple of them. I remember in there was a Superman movie, the new Superman, the Rebirth movies, animated movies. They had Lobo in that joint. And that he had some Lobo made an appearance in Justice League too. But we haven't had that much content from Lobo. So like I think if this movie is done really well and is good and popular, that Jason Momoa's voice will be the voice that people read Lobo in. And that's what I told my friend. I was like, he has a chance to be the voice that people read Lobo in. Like Kevin Conroy, I hope I'm not messing up, I always mess up his name. The Batman from Batman Justice League, how a lot of people read Batman in his voice. Like I think Jason Momoa has that chance to be the voice of this character because if they make this popular, this could be the first Lobo that people really see was on the big screen. They did have a Lobo in, I think, Krypton, but nobody really remembers that show. But this could be really the first Lobo that people see. So I'm hyped. The trailer for the Supergirl movie was really good, so I can't wait for that. And since we're talking straight trailers, woo, that Spider-Man brand new whole trailer. What? Man, brand new day. I mean, sorry. That joint is tough. You got the Hand in it. You got Punisher in it. You got the Hulk in it. Now, at first, when I heard of DP was going to be in it, I was like, why can't y'all just give this man his own movie? All right. Every movie he's had so far is he's either Iron Lad or he's back up to all the other Spider-Man, right? Even though I like that third Spider-Man. I thought this one I think finally will be a good definitive Spider-Man movie. Because also I had to remind myself, Spider-Man is the character in New York that really crosses over everybody. He crosses over with Daredevil, he crosses over with Punisher, he crosses over with Hulk, he crosses over with literally everybody in New York at different part in times. He's in their books, they're in his books sometimes. He's the main person that really crosses over. Like all of them in New York, you don't really see Moon Knight crossing over. You don't really see Daredevil crossover all the time. Luke Cage crossover. Spider-Man is always crossing over, all right, due to popularity, but he's always crossing over. So I think that is a good aspect in the movie, kind of show these characters in Spider-Man. I just hope they don't outshine Spider-Man or take too much away from Spider-Man. One thing I am mad about is that they're bringing can't even remember the name. Is basically the person that they Genki they made for Peter Parker, his best friend. Can't remember his name, and MJ. I really wish they were just done with them. I thought that after that movie we could just erase them and be done with them and start over brand new with Spider-Man and actually kind of do him better than, because I didn't like MJ or Genki from the old Spider-Man from the first three, right? So I thought we were gonna redo it with and redo it better, but I don't like that they're kind of bringing them back into the fold. I really don't like that at all. But for the most part, everything else looks dope. Scorpion, we getting Scorpion. I can't wait to see what the full Scorpion suit looks like. We're also getting mutating Peter Parker. If you ever watched the episode of X-Men where he had to go to X-Men, he was talking about the mutation when he was becoming Man Spider and stuff like that. There's some comics with it too. I don't know them off the top of my head, but you can go check those out. We're kind of Peter starts to mutate and become something different. And I think that's what they're leaning into this movie. And also a prediction that said the Hand is in that jail to kill Matt Murdock, because when we saw in the Daredevil series. And I would think that would be dope, because I think these street level shows like Daredevil and the Punisher, like those I think easily lead up into this movie. You feel me? Because we already saw with Punisher in his one shot movie, and now where he's at, and now it feels like this movie is going to start off like where Punisher is now after that show. They're going to show him basically continuing that story. So I like that. I like kind of what they're leading up to with these street levels. I think we're definitely going to be getting like a Devil's Reign. If you ever did that read that book, that was where Fist was the mayor. He was outlawing masks and stuff like that. He was taking people out. I think we're going for more of a Devil's Reign type of deal, even though Fist isn't mayor anymore. But I think we still go into a similar storyline with that, with the but all the vigilantes and stuff in New York. But hey, let me know about y'all. Let me know what y'all feel. Y'all excited for the Spider-Man trailer? I'm excited for. Excited for. I'm excited for it. I think it's gonna be dope. I think this is gonna be the best movie out of the franchise and has a chance to be up there with Spider-Man 2 as one of the best Spider-Man movies. Like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 is still to me the best Spider-Man movie, and I think with to me Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man actor. So I think with him, and if they do this movie really well, I think this could be up there with Spider-Man 2. Will it pass Spider-Man 2? I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but it definitely could be up there with Spider-Man 2. All right. So let me know what y'all think about in the comments. Let's talk about that. Oh, but let's move over to the DC side of things. We got a lot of stuff to talk about with the DC side of things. Let's go into the absolute universe. Let's talk about the absolute universe. Now, I said this on Threads. I posted it. And I was like, the absolute universe is the mainline universe right now. Absolute universe is the main universe. I don't care what nobody say. And I think we got to be honest. Like, I feel like nobody's really checking for the mainline universe like that. People still are. Don't get me wrong, they are. But when I can't remember the last time people actually talked about Batman over Absolute Batman. Watching comic book Twitter, comic book TikTok, all that, and then YouTubers, all that. Nobody talk about Batman. If we talking about Batman, we talking about Absolute Batman. Nobody talking about Wonder Woman for real. We talking about Wonder Woman. We talking about Absolute Wonder Woman. Nobody talking about Superman. Actually, nobody really talking about Superman Absolute or whatever, but but we really are going on with this Absolute universe. Like Green Arrow literally was a fail. Like that joint wasn't selling in the mainline universe. Now I guarantee you this Absolute Green Arrow is going to do numbers. I read the first issue. I'm reading midway through the second one. Guarantee you that joint going to continue to do numbers. All right, I think it's going to do way better numbers than the first Green Arrow, than the mainline Green Arrow. It's coming a point where this Absolute universe is the place to be. I saw one creator talking about, he was like, yeah, if you're a creator, if you if you are a fan of a character, you want them in the Absolute universe, because this is where the universe is thriving. This is where fans are going to. This is what people are buying. This is what people are excited about. This is what people are talking about. All right. Whenever we're seeing, like I told you, we're seeing more influencers and YouTubers talking more about Absolute than any other book. Catwoman right now is up to Catwoman 88, but Absolute Catwoman came out and everybody talking about that because Absolute Catwoman was absolutely fire. Shout out to Shay Grayson, the black woman who's writing Catwoman right now. Shout out to her, she's killing it with the first book. We'll see what happens with the second. Can't wait for that. But Absolute Universe is the main universe. Absolute Universe is probably the best universe across comics. You feel me? Right now, the most popular, definitely. So for me, I think the absolute universe is the main universe. And when talking about that, I had this topic, which is very funny. I had this topic down. The question is, should black characters be used in the absolute universe? Now, what sparked this conversation was I saw somebody say, "Hey, let me get a absolute." Was it Static or Vixen? I One of the two, because it's been talked about a lot of them just get them two getting ongoings, but I think it was Vixen. And then somebody put a rebuttal to that, basically like, no, we need the mainline Vixen. Don't just put her over in this side universe, blah, blah, blah. And I was gonna respond to that, but I didn't feel like getting in Twitter argument that day, which is weird because I'm cool with a Twitter argument. But I was gonna respond like, I feel like that's dumb. I feel like the absolute universe is not pushing her to the side. That's putting her in the forefront. You feel me? That's giving her that's the most popular universe that people are talking about right now. So, and especially when people are like with certain things with how like talking about black characters getting ongoings about how Green Lantern doesn't count. I never agreed with that. They talked about how absolute Green Lantern didn't count because it wasn't a mainline book. I never agreed with that because that universe is the most popular right now. Like Green Lantern, actually, Morgan Hampton's killing it. The black writer for Green Lantern is literally killing it right now. But Absolute Green Lantern is what people are really talking about. Absolute Green Lantern is where people are going towards. You feel me? So I didn't agree with that. Not counting as an ongoing series, but also. And I also disagree with the whole people throwing Vixen to the side if she's in Absolute or Absolute being like a side universe, which it is, but with its popularity, it makes it the main universe to me. It makes it the universe you want these characters in. And also to continue this conversation, literally last night from when I'm recording this on the Wednesday wrap up, Black Comic Lords, which Paul needs to stop giving out secrets. Paul basically said like what he thinks a Black Lightning, absolute Black Lightning would look at. Now I'm not going to give his idea because it was fire and I don't want nobody to steal it. Even though I hope DC does steal it because that was a good idea. But he basically said, what about Black Light and Absolute Universe? And that continued me thinking like, yes, these characters should be in Absolute Universe. Because Paul said one thing that I was thinking. Paul said like you can revamp these characters, give them new origins, make them new, fresh. This could be a brand new jumping point for readers. And I think that's what Absolute Universe has done. And that's why it's so popular. You can jump onto Batman without really having to know anything about Batman. And also on the creator side, these creators are allowed to take these characters and not have to deal with the pressures of the main universe or things that is happening in the main universe. They can just be fresh, they can be creative, they can do what they want. And I think with Black characters, that would be great for you to give a fresh on jumping for these Black characters, maybe change their origins a little bit, because we know some of these characters were created by white people. Actually, all these characters in our milestone pretty much are created by white people. So sometimes there's little things in their storylines that, you know, we wouldn't have put in there that we can kind of revamp and redo and change up, like kind of with for example, in the Mr. Terrific series, the writer for Mr. Terrific basically said he hated how they were always talking about Mr. Terrific is the third smartest, just to kind of as a backhanded compliment, and kind of he coined that to kind of be like, yeah, I'm the third smartest because my wife is number one and number two smartest of the world. You feel me? So I think things like that we can do with the Absolute Universe. So I think Black characters 100% should be in the Absolute Universe. I think this is really a chance to do something dope with them and get them popularity and get these books in the people's hands. And also for the creators, I think this is a chance for you to get really good creative teams onto these Absolute books with a Black character. We get Black writer, artists, and all of that, and then put them onto this character and then push it out there. That's putting Absolute on something is already going to get its sales. Like Absolute Flash is outselling a lot of stuff. Like literally the Absolute Universe is literally outselling everything in the mainline universe right now. Just go check your top selling comics. I should bring those back, the top selling comics of the month. I should definitely bring those back. But hey, for me, I think that I do want these Black characters in the main universe. Of course, I want Black characters, period. But that Absolute Universe, bro, that joint looking golden right now. That joint is promising. Okay, so for me, my Black characters would be going to the Absolute Universe. I think that's where they should go. And I totally disagree with if they made an Absolute Vixen about that, pushing Vixen to the side and not really doing well with her. No, I think that's pushing her to the forefront. And then possibly afterwards giving her a mainline series, which I'm just gonna say it since we all know what's happening. Vixen is getting a series. I think they've been hitting at it. I think Stephanie Williams been hitting at it. They've been hitting at Stephanie Williams having something coming out, and she said so much about how she wants to be Vixen. I think a Vixen series is gonna get announced in the next few months or so easily. So I think everybody pretty much know if you've been keeping up with anything in the black nerd realm, you pretty much know that that's happening. Something's happening with DC that Stephanie Williams tied, and we know that for sure. And I'm pretty sure it's Vixen. So we'll see if that's absolute Vixen or a mainline Vixen, or maybe both. That'll be tough. But let's continue this talk on with the black characters, though. So we're gonna stay on DC, and we're gonna go to Static is back. As we know, Static is back, and he's in the Titans, the new Titans. All right. So he will be, I think, officially back in issue 38, but you need to get issue 37. Issue 37 will show you how he got there to be there. It's kind of the bridge between the Dakota incident and where he is now. So you need to read issue 37 to get that. Marcus Draper, who I believe could be Marquise Draper. I hope I'm saying it right. Is who's the editor for DC, a black editor who's really been trying to get these stories out there. He basically has been putting out there. He's been killing it. Shout out to him. He's really been promoting the Static, and he said, "Hey, 37 is where you get the backstory to how he got here, and then 38 is the startup." So definitely put New Titans in your pre-orders to get this book and show them that we really want this Static back. So I think they're using this as kind of a metric to say, hey, do people really want Static before they give him an ongoing? That's my opinion. I don't have no insider knowledge. That's just looking at things. That's just how it looks like to me. But yeah, Static is back in issue 37 as a New Titan, so make sure you check that out. And to continue this on with black characters, where the hell is T'Challa? Where the hell is Black Panther? Where's the ongoing series, bro? We had the intergalactic Wakanda joint that was 3 issues. You had them in Imperial for a little bit, bro. Where's T'Challa? What are we doing? They just announced like a team up with Namor, but that's it. That's just a team up. I think that's either one shot or a limited. But where's the ongoing for Black Panther? I think his anniversary just passed the 60th anniversary. Right now we have no ongoing with him. That's wild to me. I personally wish they would have continued with the Ultimate Universe. Ultimate Black Panther was fire. They were really getting boring with mainline Black Panther, to be honest with you. I'll just be honest. They were kind of getting boring. I was interested in kind of him being like a vigilante, like Batman type of deal in Wakanda, but it like people said, it kind of was boring. It really was. But I just think that the Ultimate Black Panther was tough. The designs was tough. The artwork was tough. The story was good. He was kind of becoming like a Black Panther for Africa as a whole and not just Wakanda, which I think was a great story to lean into. They should have continued that. I think they could. Why not just continue that? I don't think you need the whole Ultimate Universe to continue at least some of these stories. You feel me? Like, I believe the Flashpoint Batman ended up getting another Batman story, which I wasn't really into that. I didn't really like that one, but it ended up getting another Flashpoint Batman story way afterwards. And I think we should continue with that Black Panther. Ultimate Black Panther was dope to me, and I will really, if you're not going to do the main ongoing Black Panther, hey, give us something. Give us something. All right. And that Ultimate Black Panther, man, they was really going all out with that. And I think they should continue with that and bring him back. But I don't know what Black Panther is. Doesn't seem to be anything coming anytime soon. No announcements, no little tidbits or anything. So I wonder what's up with that. Next to talk about, hey, there's a lot of things comics I want to talk about. We're going to continue with this comic book stuff. So Kyle Higgins, very popular for writing Power Rangers. He also wrote the book with Kid Cudi, The Moon Man, if you're into that. He is now taking over Red Hood and the Titans. All right, the new book Red Hood and Titans will coming out, which Red Hood gets his own team, which will be Fair Play, which is Mr. Terrific's son, Cheshire Cat, which is Arsenal and Cheshire's daughter, Wild Card, who I don't know about, Proxy, who I also don't know about, and Flatline, who is Deathman's protege, Lord Deathman. Flatline was also in the Robin series, where basically Damian Wayne was on this island. It was like this tournament island. He was on there, and while Flatline was on there, and also Respawn, which is I believe a Deathstroke clone, was on there too. So that's where you can kind of find out about Flatline. But this is looks interesting. I wanted to talk about that because it looks interesting, and we're getting more Fair Play, which is Mr. Terrific son. So I think that was dope, and I think I'm gonna probably pick up this book just for Fair Play, to be honest with you, and to see why the hell is Red Hood getting a team? Why is he being a leader? So I'll probably pick up this book for that, and also Kyle Higgins is the Power Rangers writer, and he does really good, and he's used to doing teams. So I can't wait to see how he does with this. All right. And sorry, I'm off screen. I'm getting my comics, but yeah, y'all. So that's all the real topics I have for y'all. It seems like there's a lot of things going on in comics right now. There's a big boom in comics. Also we're seeing a lot of publishers, even big time publishers, use Kickstarter. That's something I've seen. I didn't put it on my list of things to talk about. I talked about that a little bit in the past, and some people seem to think that's a problem. For me, I think that's dope. I think that's bringing more people to the webs to Kickstarter and getting more people used to Kickstarter, especially more comic book fans. Because sometimes as a creator, sometimes you have to explain people what Kickstarter is, and sometimes people don't trust it. I've had literally people send me money personally, and like, I'm not backing the Kickstarter. Can I just send you money personally to get the book? Because they didn't trust Kickstarter. So I like the fact that big time publishers are using Kickstarter, which kind of I think it brings more people to the platform. People seem to think that their books coming in would take eyes off indie people like me and other creators. Well, I think this could get more eyes on us. There could be more eyes on the platform and people used to it. So I'm very cool with that. Yeah, that's all I really got to talk about. But to end this out, I kind of want to end it out with like a pick of the week. It's Thursday, so I got my books yesterday, and I haven't been doing go through them series as much. One, because I missed 2 weeks of getting comic books because of work and stuff like that. But I just want to do kind of a pick of the day. Now, here we go. The Phantom. The Phantom is my pick of the day. This is the Phantom versus the Red Dragons. The Phantom is a character that I have liked since I was a kid, since I saw the movie, and I'm kind of now really diving into their comics. Some have disappointed me. Some have disappointed me, definitely. But Mad Cave, who's doing great with the indie comic books right now, they're really making a name for themselves with a bunch of dope titles. And they have the Phantom now, so I'm checking this out. And they're doing these Phantom books as like one shots. They're doing like Phantom. I forgot, Phantom versus somebody was in the last book. This is Phantom versus Red Dragons, and this one leads on to another Phantom book that's coming out, I believe, in August. So this is gonna be dope. And also Reginald Hudlin, who is one of the people who helped with Milestone Media, is making a live action of this character of the Phantom, which I'm hoping he makes him black. So I can't wait for that and to check that out. But this is my pick of the week of this week, the Phantom versus the Red Dragons. And I haven't read it yet, and I'm probably going to dive into it right after this video. So that is my pick of the week, and I want to thank y'all for watching the Yo Nerd. I will be back with more episodes. The next one is number 40. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully the Nerd Realm is giving me things to talk about for that episode. So thank y'all for watching. Like I said, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And most importantly, tell your friends about me. Tell your friends, spread the word about Yo Nerd, spread the gospel. Tell them we preaching the good word of nerdom over here. All right. So thank y'all for watching. And also check out in the description. You can follow me all my social media platforms. Peace.